record.
And also, even if the technical, you also have to obviously all the marketing and PR. And I think long term also the information here.
It's like 5 years to say.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I think you should find
Come on,
out.
I can call this.
Yeah, keep that. Just direct your, get rid of the text.
So where's my Skype?
It's so much easier. It's almost one word. But for me, it's a lot easier to do that. Hopefully,
Mary?
But I mean, whatever we can put in conversations I read told her that she might be appropriate doing this one.
The story was about TV girls
No.
Because when we were in Africa, we sent out some mailing, and I said
No,
Director
really.
of Finance and what is she? Director of Finance and Administration. I said Operations.
And I could go to...
And I had a staff that said she reported on that
Oh
print in the mail.
I
was like, really?
Oh my God.
Garbage. You know, I mean, it was like, it said like nice things. I love her.
Oh, I do too. I do too.
It's just like
I know. I might cut you a little slack.
Yeah.
But I
It is.
more than anything else. It was the most recent.
Okay.
What I believe is you gotta, get out there with the right trustees. I mean, I still hopefully actually it's so loud that it's running so I'm losing some of my
What happened to my Skype?
But that's great, but that's not my role.
No.
Although I am, I don't
Yeah.
these people that know behind the scenes. But, I've never seen a conversation with all the organizations I've had. Because it was so sweet.
She worked so hard on that.
And to be recognized like that,
Yeah.
that was worth $10,000 on her salary. So, but no, I'm glad you shared that with me. That's really pretty
It's just funny.
I'll find a way to bring that back sometime. So, what do you think would be your first reaction? What would be some ideas that might pop in your head? That would be descriptive. That the gods would bow down on your feet and go, oh my God.
Like, I don't know. Is it like, it's only over one part, you know?
That's the one. The two elements I think are important, and I do like that. I like the artistic side. The marketing or
Hey, Bill.
Your face right here, I'll tell you this weekend. I've been getting some Bigfoot pictures of you.
All right, Alexis, I'm going to be ready for you.
Okay.
Have fun.
Bring a little chair.
Oh, look at your little cam. I was like, oh, you look at
You got a chair?
Let me
Come
get a
sit.
chair.
Come sit. We're going to talk about this.
Here, I'll roll this down over.
Okay.
I think I can get it out.
I don't think you'll be able to hear like the intro or anything. I was gonna get you on there. Hopefully that'll work. I don't know. Looks like it's a little high.
I don't know. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna read a little bit off of here.
Okay.
I'm totally like unprepared. I'm like prepared, like in my head. I'm thinking a lot of things, but it's like I'm totally unprepared. 18 seconds. Seems like
Cool.
it's
So this is like a web-based thing, or?
Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk.
That's really cool.
And then there's an intro. Good afternoon. It's January. January. It is still January, isn't it? It's Saturday, January 30th, and I'm here at the Bigfoot Film Festival in Millersburg, Pennsylvania. And I don't think that they expected quite the turnout that they got. This sleepy little town has about 2,500 people in it, and we have people who have come. Some of the Bigfoot notables who have come from Texas, Maine, Connecticut, New York, Virginia, Ohio. We have people from all over here. And I have with me Alexis Campbell, and you are the film festival director?
Well, kind of. We organized it with another group, Movie 8. So I'm sort of the Ned Smith Center side of things. So we're hosting the festival here at our center. And so we co-did it. So yes, I guess yes, in a way.
Yes. Well, you seem to be like the one who's running everything,
Yeah.
running around like crazy here. So I love you have the Bigfoot bake sale out there. Where there was Bigfoot droppings and the almondable snowman cookies. They're very cute. We have Lauren Coleman. He's sitting outside selling some of his merchandise, and he's giving his presentation tonight at 6 o'clock, right before the movie The Legend of Boggy Creek. Now, how long ago did you start producing this Bigfoot Film Festival?
Well, this is the first year for it, but we started planning it probably in late 2008.
Wow.
Just sort of like an idea, then like, hey, we should try to do this. Movie 8 and the Ned Smith Center have been trying to work together for a long time, and then this Bigfoot thing sort of seemed like a cool way to connect our two missions together, which is film and nature and art. So it was just a little quick, an idea, and then over last year we just kind of planned it, and Jim Hollenbaugh, who's one of the co-organizers of the festival on the film side, connected with Lauren and with Eric Altman to get them to be speakers, and he did a little presentation last night on different interpretations of Bigfoot in film, and tomorrow we have some more like Ned Smith Center people coming to do, one guy's doing animal tracks.
Oh, very cool.
Sort of from like a hunting perspective of, when you have to track an animal, and sort of how that relates to what you guys do.
Right.
And then another guy who's going to talk about mountain lions, which in Pennsylvania there's this thing of whether or not they're
They
here.
exist.
So we're kind of trying to relate it all together.
Uh-huh. Oh, awesome. I just heard a funny noise on this thing. I hope I'm still running. Anyway, so now, were you friends with any of the people from Movie 8?
Yeah.
You guys hang out and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's kind of how it started. I work for, I freelance for a newspaper in Harrisburg. For about 5 years I've had a music and arts column, and I connected with Caleb, who kind of started Movie 8, for a screening that he was doing a couple years ago, and we really hit it off as friends and decided that somehow we wanted to work together on something. And I was working at a theater, and they would use it for rehearsal spaces for when they would do silent films. They'd have like a live film score along with an old silent movie like Nosferatu or something. They would like play live music along with it, and so. But once I came here to the Ned Smith Center about a year and a half ago, we thought that this venue was great, and hopefully we're going to build an amphitheater out back. We're raising money for it, and so we're hoping to do like a whole outdoor series, and this is sort of the beginning of what we hope will be like a symbiotic film nature arts relationship.
So this was your first venture with Movie 8, so you hadn't had any other movies that you've done like this?
No, this is actually our first film. Here it's our first film that we've ever done. Ever. Yeah.
So you were really kind of not sure what kind of turnout you would have, right?
No. We knew that there was some interest in showing films here, which is why, why we were talking about it in the first place, but we wanted to make it not just like, hey, we're going to show this movie on Friday night.
Right.
We wanted it to really connect.
To be an event.
To be an event and, connect to what we do on a daily basis with both of our organizations.
Right.
So, that's how we started to think about this Bigfoot thing.
Wow, because I think how many tickets have you sold over the whole 3-day weekend, and not including like all weekend passes, but I mean like how many individual people do you expect to be walking through the door now this weekend?
Probably about 120 people total.
Wow.
And that might not sound like a lot if you're not here in this building,
right.
But I mean you're here and you see that what we have to work with is pretty small. We're in in our center we have a gallery and a gift shop upstairs, and then downstairs where the festival's happening is our education room, and our administrative offices, and that's where we are. So it's crazy.
It's very cool. I mean, I like it. It could be a little bit bigger to, maybe next year, clear out everybody's offices.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just move.
Just move everybody. But now last night, were you a little nervous when you started, being that this was your first time, you had to get up there and make an announcement and introduce everything?
Yeah, well, I was so energized by the turnout, and we were all just so, like, ecstatic that there were so many people here, and everyone was so excited, that, yeah, I mean, I was kind of nervous just because it's always a little crazy, but I was so excited about it, and then, we had some excitement with the one film, and, we dealt with it. It happened.
Well, have you ever met that George Kuchar before?
No, but, he comes to Harrisburg, like, on an annual basis to do screenings and in-person filmmaker things with Movie 8, and so they know him very well, and they've seen a lot of his work, and so they, like, had never seen this particular film because it's super rare. There are like 3 prints of it in the world.
I was hoping, and not just me, but several other people were hoping, like maybe after hours, so you could show that film.
We're going to
again.
show it tonight after Boggy Creek.
Nice.
So.
For those of you who don't know what happened last night, it was a mixed audience. There was children and families, and men and women, and we watched this first little strange movie from George Kuchar, which was called The Hairy Horror, and then. Right after that was another short film called Yolanda, and it was about a housewife who becomes obsessed with Bigfoot. What type of film style is that he was shooting that in? For the life of me, I can't remember, and I took a film class.
In the Harry Horror? I mean,
no,
in the other one?
Yeah, that's like not Art Nouveau. It's kind of like...
I don't really know.
Like Stanley Kubrick kind of mix,
film kind of.
Yeah, it was kind of choppy, but it was really cool. That's why I liked it from the filmmaking aspect.
Yeah, I mean,
even
it was
though
beautifully
the content,
done. Yeah, and even though like the content, it kind of veered into like what we were shocked by, this sort of like
soft
nudity
porn.
and stuff, and really, I mean, compared to what you see, it's like HBO.
I think,
but being here, we just had to. We had to
because of the kids that were in the audience. I think as a person who appreciates film and art, to me, I thought it was really cool. The nudity didn't bother me at all. It was like, cool. This is what I would expect to happen.
Right.
That's, in reality. Well, in his reality. Yeah. But anyway, so by popular demand, the adults are going to get to watch the rest of that movie.
We're going to watch that tonight.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. And so this evening we have, well, right now I'm being so rude. Eric Altman is giving his presentation on Bigfoot in Pennsylvania. I've seen it a couple times. I've bumped into Eric and many. We were going to do a walk on the trails, but it's too muddy.
We
even
may,
though-
yeah, he may go outside, just be closer to the building where it's not so
Okay.
washed out. We had a ton of rain here, so it kind of messed up our trails that are farther out, but
Right.
he
I
might
figured
take a
everything would
little
be
walk.
frozen. It's so cold here.
It's very cold.
Yeah, for everybody who's like out in California, Texas, it's 15 degrees here today, and everything's frozen. So then at 3:30 today, we're going to show the film Legend Meets Science with our friend Dr. Jeff Meldrum. Then we're going to have a dinner break. You say many fine dining establishments in Millisburg.
I mean,
That's
there's
false
like
advertising.
Between 4 and 6.
We found two. We
Yeah.
found two.
Well, we have little maps. I'll show you. There's a couple other ones.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
may have some little maps.
Yeah.
We were using the GPS. Find food. Please find food. All right. And so then tonight, after our dinner break, we're going to have a lecture on the legend of Boggy Creek, Bigfoot and Beyond, with Lauren Coleman, who is the world's greatest living cryptozoologist. I think he's in earshot. He could hear me say that. And then tonight, the legend of Boggy Creek, and then afterwards, the special premiere of the re-premiere of Yolanda from George Kuchar. Well, Alexis, so now do you think you're going to do this again next year?
What we're thinking is we'll do something next year. It might not be
Not
exactly
Bigfoot.
this, but there's so much more we could do with something like this, and
sure.
especially after talking with Lauren, and we learned, that he is a filmmaker too and has made some films, and so
He does everything.
yeah, so that's exciting, and so I think maybe maybe not next year, but the year after, we may revisit this and kind of maybe delve into the films a little bit more, because this time it's sort of like an overview. We're showing some films, people are learning about Bigfoot, and so I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities. So.
Right. Now, before, I was doing my research of the area and everything, and I went to the BFRO and looked to see, that's the Bigfoot Research Organization, in case you don't know what that is. And I looked in the county of Dauphin County. Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Dauphin?
Mm-hmm.
And there had been no Bigfoot sightings in this county ever. But Lauren was telling me that there was something just recently. Do you have
there
any stories
was.
about that?
There was something on Peters Mountain, which is actually very close to here.
Yeah, we went over that.
I drive over it every day on my way to work. Because the Appalachian Trail actually crosses.
I saw that. That's historical, isn't it? I said that's probably why they didn't make the road go through the Appalachian Trail, because it's
yeah, so
historical.
there's actually a bridge that at the very top of Peters Mountain that is the trail that goes above it, and so it goes all through there.
Okay.
And somebody supposedly saw something back there, and
just within the last 2 weeks,
within a month, yeah.
Okay.
And the local news did a piece about it. It's actually on the Bigfoot Film Festival's Facebook page. There's a link to a little video clip that they did.
Okay.
But I'm not really sure if that was ever substantiated or if it was anyone ever really followed up with it.
Right.
But there was something kind of recently, but that was the first I'd ever heard of anything in this area.
Yeah. But before this, had you ever, obviously you were talking with your friends before, because obviously Jim must have a fascination with Bigfoot of his own. Okay, because I can't wait to talk to him. And but you yourself have never investigated it or Googled anything
not
on
personally.
it?
And that's what's been cool for me is it's this a whole new world that now I'm really interested in. But prior to this, no. I mean, I hadn't. So it's really fun, and we made that little promo that you saw last night that we filmed here.
Too, yeah.
It was a blast, and we just had a lot of fun with it, and that doing that kind of made me want to watch a whole bunch of Bigfoot movies and just sort of delve into the.
Well, some of these, when he
more.
was showing the clips and everything, it's I'd never heard of some of these, and it's just even though
Like
they're
the
so
Shriek
campy,
of the Mutilated. That was my favorite title, I think.
it's just awesome. It's so kitschy and campy, but it's it just draws you in because of that style and everything.
Yeah.
So, what was I going to say? I was thinking about the movies. Oh, the trailer. Is there a link to the trailer on the internet now?
Yeah, it's on Vimeo. There's a couple links to it on the Facebook page for the film festival and for the Ned Smith Center. It's both places.
Okay.
Are we not on?
No, I don't know. What's that? We should be connected.
Okay.
Wait, I should ask my boys in the chat room there if they hear me. Let's see. Oh, reconnecting to server. Well, we have it on here, so I could always upload it too. Should be fine.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll ask him. All right. Well,
Anywho.
Alexis, we're talking to ourselves here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they could hear us here. That's all right. We'll be able to do upload it again.
Yeah.
Reconnect after 116 seconds. That's nothing. Okay. Well, if you want to go and get Jim for me, if he's available to talk.
Yeah,
and it
I'm
was
sure
nice
he
talking
is.
to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a great. We've been having a blast here.
Oh, good.
Good time.
I'll go grab
All right. So we're trying to reconnect here. Something bad happened. Let's see what's going on. Crap. Everything says loading. That's probably when I heard that little beep. Nope. Everything's... That's stupid internet for you. Slow connections. Come on in, Jim. Come on in. It's hard to say if anything is going over right now. I'm going to have to upload it later.
Okay.
It looks like, maybe that's what that beepy noise was when I said, what was that? I heard a little
maybe.
beepy noise. I must have disconnected. But anyway, so we're going to go. I like this. Anyway, hi.
Hello.
So you got to tell me, this is Jim Hollenbaugh. Pronounce it right?
Yep.
Okay, good. And how long have you been a filmmaker?
Well, I guess about, I saw my first film in 1999, I guess, so about 10, 11 years.
Really? How old were
Yeah.
you when you did that?
Well, 10 years ago I would have been 21.
Oh,
so,
okay,
yeah.
okay. And when did your fascination with Bigfoot evolve?
Well, I've always had a little fascination with Bigfoot. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I was always interested in things like Bigfoot and actually like Mothman and,
Okay.
you know, things like that. It was always just an interest of mine. And then when I got older, you know, I'd start to read books on the subject and I'd see the movies. And I always been a movie fan. And, you know, I like horror movies. I like all kinds of movies. But, you know, started out as a kid's Bigfoot movies like Harry and the Hendersons. I totally loved that. I loved the TV show. Then I got older and I started checking out some of the more obscure movies and got into other filmmakers and just kind of branched off. And then when I saw Legend of Boggy Creek, I was like, wow, this is just crazy, you know. and I started really then getting involved in seeking out these other Bigfoot films, and that led me to you know, getting more books, and I got some of Lauren's books, and even with Boggy Creek, I contacted Smokey Crabtree and, you know, got his books because I got real obsessed with the whole Boggy Creek story. So, yeah, that's kind of how it started, and then yeah.
Yeah. So when you were young, like, were you influenced by? I guess they didn't have Monster Quest back then. What was it?
Yeah, I mean, my family didn't have cable TV or anything. I never had cable in my life, really. But we would just rent movies, you know, from the local store, and that's when, you know, my parents got me Harry and the Hendersons and things like that, and you know, the horror movies too. We'd rent, you know, my parents would rent a movie, I'd rent a movie, and that's how I got to see them.
Now, did you she said, Alexa said you guys started talking about this like around 2008. Now, prior to that, had you ever done any of your own short films like involving Bigfoot?
I never had done any, actually. No.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like all my other films are, you know, documentary films or other short dramatic films, but I never had done a monster film at all. And you know, I'd worked on horror films and things like that because I also do camera work on feature films and documentaries and TV and that sort of thing. But as far as making my own, I'd never made one. And whenever we decided to do this festival, we you know, partnered here with the Ned Smith Group and our film group that I'm a part of, where we just mainly do screenings all around Harrisburg. And I said, wow, you know, and we're still in our film group, we shoot on film a lot, not on video. You still get Super 8 film. And I was like, wow, you know, I'd really love to make a little promo for the festival. We can shoot in Super 8, and we can shoot up here at the center where there's, you know, a lot of nature. And everyone was into it. So, you know, Alexis, that's her, the mother in the little promo, and her husband, and that's not
Rent a kid.
But yeah, Rent a Kid. And yeah, so it was pretty cool to, you know, make a little short film finally, since I'm a fan of those, and I love the old 70s look, you know, grainy, low
that was cool.
film. So we were like, yeah, we'll shoot in Super 8, it'll be perfect. And
Did you think that there was going to be This is no network asset. That's probably why. Did you think that there was going to be this much of a turnout for these films?
We really had no idea. The only thing that scared me, I figured there was people that were going to be interested, and we have a large base in Harrisburg of people that come out to our screens and our annual regular film festival, not a specific like the Bigfoot one. But the only thing that concerned me was, Harrisburg's one thing, but coming up here to Millersburg, which, it's only a half hour north of Harrisburg, but sometimes it's tough to get people to get in the car and drive up, Sometimes it's tough just to get them to, go to the other side of town in Harrisburg. So we were like, wow, I hope people would come out, and we were very happy with the turnout and the response, and, people traveling from elsewhere, but then also, local people in Millersburg, people from Harrisburg coming up.
Right.
It's been great, and I think it's gone well so far, and we tried to we've shown a lot of different films. We've tried to pick ones from kind of each different genre. We have a scholarly, serious documentary.
Right.
We have a horror film, or a couple horror films. We have, some short, crazy films. We have kids' films, so we try to get something that we
That's
thought
a good mix.
everyone would try to enjoy, at least for one screen. Maybe they're only interested in one screening, but, that's open to them, so.
So, well, most of your interest has been on the filmmaking side of it. Have you ever had an interest in actually, like what the organizations do, like researching the creature?
I mean, I do have an interest in that too. I love the films, but I've also read, a lot of the scholarly books on the subject and things like that. And I like to read all the articles and everything. I've never been on an expedition or anything, but that's why I wanted to get Eric here, and hear about what his organization is part of, and Lauren. And that does interest me. I don't know, I'm not a scientist or anything, so I don't know a lot about that end of it, but I'd like to learn. So
yeah, it's fun. And if you go on the internet, there's like thousands of websites and organizations, and everybody has a theory on it, and all that.
What I like about it, it's interesting too. I was really happy to get Eric, because I think people come out here to the Ned Smith Center to see wildlife and things out here, and it's cool to have someone that's involved in investigating this sort of thing in your own state.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's cool for Lauren to come down from Maine and everything and talk on like he's been here and there and everywhere, but it's real special to get Eric, because like your own backyard.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and it makes you realize that, wow, this isn't just on TV on
Yeah.
Monster Quest or over in the Pacific Northwest.
Exactly.
You have it all over you, all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So anyway, what was I was gonna ask you something else about the filmmaking. Oh yeah, in your research, have you ever had a chance to look at the Patterson-Gimlin film?
Yeah, actually I have, and there's a couple of films that actually stole that footage and put it in, some horror films.
Right.
But yeah, I've definitely looked at that footage online a lot, and that interests me a lot. We try to use that as a reference with our little backyard promo we did, which we didn't quite get as well as we'd hoped. But yeah, I've looked at that footage, and it's crazy.
Well, as a filmmaker, and as you trying to do a Bigfoot thing yourself, you could see and you've looked at all these films from Hollywood and from independent people, and that it's like no one's been able to recreate a costume that well.
Yeah.
Even with you would think the 1967 technology would be so far beneath what we could do now.
Excuse me, exactly. And yeah, I mean, it's like I can see what people say from both sides, and that it's a costume, it's not, but it's pretty convincing, and I mean, I've shot 16mm film, which that's what that was shot on, and it's pretty convincing, especially for 1967. And when you look at a lot of these movies, the costumes are pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if these
Especially
guys,
the face part, the mask part. And
I'm like, if these two guys could come up with a costume that good just for their little 16 thing, you'd think
they'd be in movies. They would have been in movies from that day on.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah, it's pretty interesting to look at that footage, because I don't think anyone can really say for sure either way.
Right, but it does have, like you said, a lot of convincing points, and then a lot of points that make you question, like, hey, wait a minute there.
Yeah.
So what's your next project going to be?
Well, personally, I guess I should say with the film group Movie 8, we have a couple screenings coming up soon in Harrisburg, and we also do music events. We have a couple music events. This filmmaker Taka Amira is coming in. He's from Japan, and he did films with Yoko Ono and a lot of the New York underground scene in the '60s. We had him
I've
here
heard of,
years ago.
I think I had that in my film class. I remember
You may
that.
have, yeah.
Like, didn't he do stuff on like a subway, like subways, like a lot of stuff like
he's
that?
done some stuff in the New York subway, and
The Japanese, whatever they call their subway. Or
oh yeah, and he's done films in Japan and in New York, and he's a cool guy. We had him a couple years ago, and he's coming back with some new stuff and some old stuff. So
he's an older gentleman, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Older?
Yeah,
he's
been
older.
working for a long time. And then also in May we have our annual film festival, the Arts Fest Film Festival, which is a 3-day event that we do every year in Harrisburg at the Whitaker Center, and which is a large. They have concerts and things there, and we have 3 days of films. People have been submitting. I think we have a couple hundred so far already. So it's going to be a good weekend, and we'll have special guests and speakers and midnight movies and that sort of thing. So.
What about yourself? Do you have any more film projects, like for yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm always working. I work full time as a director of photography in Lancaster. So
cool.
I just finished shooting a documentary on the tundra swans migration into Lancaster County. I did a thing on Milton Hershey, and right now we're starting some new projects at work, and then I freelance too, and a lot of commercials and things like that. So
very cool.
And then I have a couple of my own projects that I'm slowly working on too on the side.
Good. Well, we appreciate very much the work that you guys did to put this all together this weekend.
Yeah, well, thank you. We're really happy with the turnout, and
it's been a lot of fun.
I'm glad that people were coming out and enjoying themselves. Eric Altman, I guess you probably said, is in there right now, and then we're going to have our little hike in Lauren, and still a lot of stuff here in the weekend.
A lot going on tomorrow. All right, well, that was Jim Hollenbaugh. Thank you very much, Jim.
Sure, thank you. And can we say our website into the thing?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, the website for the film group is movie8.org. That's MOVIATE.org, and you can see about our film festival and upcoming screenings if you're interested.
Very good. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, and then tomorrow we have, it's going to be more of a family day, no showings of Yolanda. They're going to have a Bigfoot costume contest. Like you said, the Animal Tracks guy coming tomorrow. Oh, Alexis was telling me about that. And then, what's this? Lecture, Bigfoot's Favorite Pet, Modern Mountain Lions. Okay, with Marcus Schneck, right. Yeah, I read his article in the Patriot News, so he's going to be here talking about that. And then Harry and the Hendersons. And the website for the Ned Smith Center is www.nedsmithcenter.org. And Movie 8 was www.moviate.org. All right, thank you very much for listening. I'm going to come back in a few minutes after I can get this computer and internet working again. Goodness gracious. This is
Tracy in there said she had problems too, so I'm going to try to...
Yeah, it died.
The wireless died?
Yeah.
Well, thank
you.
you.
The connection. Thank you, Jim.
Sure.
I love that trailer. It was hilarious. I asked her, she said there's a link for it up there on your website.
Yeah, it's on YouTube and stuff.
Oh, yeah?
And Vimeo, yeah, it's pretty... We had fun with that. We shot it in like half a day.
Like half a day. But, low budget. No, you didn't have to pay anybody?
Yeah, no one got paid. We all chipped in for the film, and I brought my camera. And,
awesome. Yeah, no connections available. Troubleshoot.
It's not, I had some plug right now. She's recycling it or something.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Alright, I plugged it back in, so maybe in a second you may be able to try again.
Yeah.
That's weird, because it's like the router's right there. I mean, it's right there.
It's so close. I can feel it.
I use it all the time. I wonder, sometimes it's just means the internet. It's not like perfect. We put so much faith in these things.
Yeah, really. What is perfect?
Yeah.
All right, let's stop this. How do we stop this?